So for the life and art exercise, I think that we all had really good, big ideas on trying to create really solid backstories and stories that really intertwined and made logical sense. Like Layla and I being cousins, and me being sisters to Orly, and just the connections I felt like we made were really good, strong choices. And throughout the process, I felt like, especially rehearsing, I think that sometimes in our class there's a little bit of a power struggle, and some people are quicker to put down others' ideas faster than others. I think some people would rather hear everyone's ideas and try and incorporate them as best as possible, and some people are more would rather if they don't like it, then they'd rather just say no and not go with that idea. And I think that everyone should have an opportunity to have their ideas explored. So I kind of wish that maybe maybe that everyone had more of an opportunity to let their ideas be heard within the class. I felt like for me, I wanted to do more and be more involved, but I felt like there were just a couple people in our class that took the reins, and then it felt almost like I wasn't really allowed to put some of my input into it, even though over the course of working through it, I think that most of my ideas were heard. I think that our life and art piece turned out really well, and I understand that our one big thing was that we didn't make the stakes big enough or whatnot, but I think that was really because of the fact that in our minds we had this parameter that we had to follow in between the lines, and that parameter was the ending picture. So I think it would have been really cool to have somebody storm off or be angry, but I think that with the tone that you get from looking at the picture, it's one of happiness and content, and not one of forced happiness or content. So I think it would have been awesome to see more conflict and higher stakes, but I think that we all kind of thought that the picture didn't lend itself to that as much as it could have. Excuse me. But overall, I like working with the people in our class, and I feel like we do get kind of rowdy sometimes, but I think that we kind of know when to rein it in, which is good. And I think that we all want to do well, and I feel like we've all really, really try to do as much as possible to make what we're doing the best it can be. So even with our castle or with viewpoints, I think that our class has kind of been going so well because we all collectively like want it to be the best experience possible, which is good. So, and I feel like I'm really connecting with people that I hadn't been connecting with during viewpoints. Like Tom and I have gotten to be very good friends, which is weird because we never ever ran into each other during viewpoints, and now we're starting to be really good friends. So it'll be interesting to see how our scenes for story theater go, because it'll be crazy having actual lines and scripts. But I think that we all have very creative, big ideas, and I think it'll turn out really spectacular in the end. So, yep, that's all, folks.